He was nibbling at my toe. That's a goby. Man. So guys, today's pretty wet. I am gonna make a real traditional spear gun. When I say traditional, I'm talking about the first spear gun that I have ever made. Not the other one, you know, that I made a while ago. So I have some bike rubber or bike tube, however you wanna put it. I got my pliers because you're gonna be needing the pliers, and you're gonna need basically a machete. So I'm gonna grab all of that. If you guys can see, it's pretty wet outside. It's been a while since I haven't made a video, so I am gonna kick it back to my childhood days, and we're gonna make a old time days spear gun. I mean, a childhood spear gun, the first spear gun that I actually created. And we're gonna shoot some shrimps with it. We're gonna catch some bait to take to the surf. So I am gonna show you how we actually used to operate pretty much that and catch fish, catch lobster, catch shrimp. So this is my favorite gun back in the days, you know, to go and catch guppies. I've shot a lot of guppies in my time. Pretty tasty. So I'm gonna get straight to this outline, and we're gonna start fit it up. So I pretty much got the outline of what I want. I am gonna use my cleaver machete to actually cut this out. So let me just, and we're gonna, for those of you guys who actually wants to see what happens, it's just me using my machete and getting it to shape. That's just about it. Okay, so we're pretty much to the rough size that we want. Still got a bit of shaping to do. So let's just continue and see what happens. So yeah, that's it. That's the shape that we're gonna work with. I am gonna do this a little bit thinner. So I've got a knife. So I'm just gonna take off some of the edge, and then we're pretty much complete from there. It's not gonna have any trigger. That's the best part about it. So that is why you do need pliers to bend this in a certain position. And we're gonna be shooting some shrimps, hopefully some guppies. I'm not gonna shoot any fish. I honestly don't want no fish. And by the spot that we're gonna go actually doesn't have any fish, just lobsters, guppies, and shrimps. So I guess when I'm all ready to, I'm kidding. There's not gonna be a trigger, but it still looks nice. Maybe one day we can convert it to a trigger, but for now I'm just gonna kick it old school, and I'll catch you guys when I'm, you know, twisting the steel. That is one important part that I actually want to show you guys. So we finally got it outlined. It's time for me to give it a narrow shape and round the edges, and we're ready. Okay, so we're pretty much ready. We've got all the stuff that we want. Just got to put a nail and pretty much add the rubber. So let's get straight to designing the steel, and then we're gonna add the rubber and everything after. We're pretty much gonna do the steel now, so it's time to get it all bent and everything. So pretty much what you're gonna do is, yeah, this was the video that I was telling you guys about, so you guys can check it out. I'll put the link in the description. So it's just a matter of getting this bent. You're gonna try and get it in a circular shape. It's gonna be pretty difficult. Yeah, so you need it like that at first, and then you're gonna grab. So it all depends on which direction you want. Like you wanna flick it. So if you wanna flick it this way, you're gonna bend it this way. But I'm gonna flick it in the opposite direction, you know, just to get a little more. Oh, maybe I should put it in this direction. Yeah, so it should just go down on it. So there's a lot of way to actually do this, but I am just giving you a simpler way that we used to do it as kids. So guys, unfortunately you guys didn't actually get to see how I did the whole bending of the steel, but this was what I did, and this is a pretty simple setup. So we're gonna have the rubber is gonna be placed under that, and it's pretty much, there's gonna be a nail, and we're gonna get some gubbies, and hopefully we get a lobster. It's been a while since I've actually shot a lobster, so it would be really cool to get one on my traditional setup. Like when I say traditional, like extremely traditional setup. So let's add the nail, and pretty much that is gonna be it for this video. I mean, when it comes to making the gun, we're gonna test it at the river, not the big river. We're gonna go at the small river today. It's been raining a lot, so it's just a matter of getting this nail in. And this is not a hammer, so I think a hammer would have been more easier. And we're gonna cut that knob off, set it right there, and from here we gotta find the right height. That way when we do trigger it, it's gonna fall off. We don't want it to just fall right off right away. We gotta give it a little height. Safety. I think instead of doing that, I can actually cut it again. And there you have it. Yep, that's perfect. So that is gonna be it. And when the rubber pulls against this NU, it's gonna shoot right off. And the funny thing about this traditional gun, it only have like that range, that much range, because it can't go all the way out. So it's a pretty simple setup. I mean, if you're not looking to shoot something at a really far distance, this is gonna work pretty good. And you guys are gonna see in my video today, we're gonna shoot some shrimps for us to use as bait at the surf. And that is pretty much gonna be it. So let me just add the rubber, and then you guys would really see how this is gonna operate. And that's it, really. That is just about it. So it's pretty simple, and you gotta get it on, and you guys can see it's there. So we are gonna use a mango for the test subject, and just check it out. Look at my finger, just look at it, and you pretty much shot a gobby or a fish. And the funny thing is, this is not as lethal as the other spear gun that I made. This is just, you know, like probably your kids can actually use it, and maybe they gotta worry about their toe, but that's that's okay. That's okay. That wasn't funny. I'm just saying. So yeah, that was just my childhood spear gun, and we're gonna test it out today, see how it works, and you guys are gonna see what I'm gonna use to actually see under the water. It's pretty funny, but it's what we used to use back then. So yeah. A lot of shrimps. Some we're not gonna be even we're not going to be able to use the glass because the water is pretty still. So we're just going to take some freehand shot. And look at this. We call this one red tail. You guys can see the red on its tail. And these guys, they don't play.